to Compton, man.
I feel everything.
I got my homie with me.
Gage. Love. Love. I ask around, I'm a boss in my city. Homicide, yellow tape, white chalk in my city. It ain't safe without a Glock round here. You get jumped, get stabbed, get shot round here. Yeah, middle fingers to the cops round here.
You can't copy respect. URL's Born Legacy 7 is stacked with action-packed matchups. With each and every matchup release, the momentum continues to grow. This year, the world's most respected has worked hard to deliver.
That's why I don't really watch too many bloggers, because they're just not good.
Nah, I hear you, Norbes. I hear you, man. Definitely, it's been a lot of crazy ups and downs and topsy-turvies, but 2019 was a crazy year. So far, one of the craziest years in battle rap. So far, you know what I'm saying, we done had major events. We done had 2 band legacies. We done had a Born legacy. And I'm talking about like marathons and battle rap. You know what I'm saying? I felt like it's really haven't been no real layoffs. You know what I'm saying? Or no time off between situations. And we just been getting like great content of battles. What's your thoughts on just, you know, what your company and everybody as a whole has been able to do for this year? And also dropping the app to include on everything you guys been doing. Because I've been active, like probably one of the most active I've ever seen you around. Like this shit is crazy. On it.
In terms of giving the fans what they want, I think it's super dope. Giving them more content and things of that nature, that's dope. Give them more battles. I think it's cool to be able to do that. But at the same time, I feel like it's still a growing process, you know. Just because you're doing a bunch of events doesn't necessarily mean that the content is going to come out greater. I think we have to do a better job in growing some of these newer guys and just everything. Like I said, like, even with the app, I think the app is a great idea. But I think as we grow, we learn. You know what I mean? And that's the positive side of it. You know, we're growing. People are enjoying it. People love it. But now expectation becomes the next step. You know what I'm saying? Like bringing more content, it's crazy. But to answer your question in terms of, you know, being able to throw more frequent events, I think it's dope. I think the fact that we're using a lot more, you know, talent and try and put more of a focal point on that, I think that's super dope. I'd like to see, you know, like especially with the Born Legacy 7 series, I'd like to see more guys, you know, get an opportunity. That's kind of what I'm trying to do, you know, is giving guys more of an opportunity to get to the next level. So, like, as a fan, you know, you get more battles. I think it's dope. But I think as we're growing with it, we have to do more. Like, it just sucks. Like, you know, they say, like, more money, more problems.
Yeah, definitely.
That's very true. Like, you gotta, you know, now that's the expectation. You can't go below that. So now you gotta continue to get better. You gotta continue to do more.
Nah,
you know?
Real talk. And I mean, URL done topped itself so much or over the years, just doing mega events. People still want that Summer Madness too. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, yeah, still people's like, okay, even after having a resolution and known and things like that. So it's like, it's always, you know, the bar's always set higher. Now,
no, absolutely.
Born Legacy 7, we were at Born Legacy 6, man. Tampa was a dope area, Florida. They really came out and showed love. What was the mind state in going into Born Legacy 7 and bringing it right back to Tampa once again?
I love, the reason I love Born Legacy 7 more so than anything that we've been doing, to me personally, is because I got to see fans. Like, and when people say that, they're like, yo, what do you mean? It's like, how do I explain it? I got to see people actually online that wanted to be at this venue. Like, a lot of times you go to an event and it's just a lot of battle rappers there, just hogging the camera and just trying to be in front of an event. You know what I mean? Trying to, you know, it's like 100 free dudes that just rap that are trying to get on, as opposed to when we went to Florida, I already knew, like, I mean, you guys were there. Fucking Clips came, Hollow came. There was no rappers. It was all fans. So the energy in the building was a lot of excitement, and they were there just to see the show. Like, sometimes you go to a show, and there's just a lot of people that are rapping at the event or just constantly trying to get on, and they won't try to react and get excited. So to see the sheer excitement of just fans and fandom and them loving what you're doing, to me, was so dope. You know what I mean? And that's why I really loved the Tampa scene, because I'd have to deal with Wally the rapper from 47 who's down with Dot Mob, so, you know what I'm saying? And have, you know, it was different. You've seen a lot of just genuine fans that wanted to be there, and that's why I bring it to Tampa. It was just, like, you were in the building, like, you didn't know anybody. It was just fans. They see Knowledge to God, and they were hyped. Like, oh shit, Knowledge to God. I'm like, nah, let me just happen to see it. So, it was just a different feel. Like, you know, it wasn't an event where I just showed and I seen everybody for 15 minutes of fame, and everybody from fucking, you know, all the bloggers and all the battle rappers that are trying to make it. It's like 200. I didn't see any of these assholes. So that made me really feel good that I actually seen fans that just want to be there for the culture. You know what I'm saying? And it kind of shows that it's growing, you know? It's not like, you know, I'm tired of seeing the same 20 people at the event all the time. It was glad to see a bunch of people see something for the first time and really enjoy it and embrace it. So that's why I bring it back to Tampa. So you know what? And then, you know, people were mad when I brought it back to Tampa, and they were excited about that. But I didn't give a shit. So I did. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I'm going to move it next time. 198, I'm already working on pointing to another location. But I just really loved it. And the Florida fans appreciated it. And I feel like they showed, you know, they showed their appreciation. And, like if you watch the battles that dropped, all 6 of them were crazy on the yacht.
Facts.
You know what I mean? And a lot of it had to do with the element of just people wanting to be there. And, you know, sometimes you go to an event and people want to hate or they don't want to. It wasn't like this guy's entourage and 400 people versus this guy's entourage and 600 people, and the shit gets fucked up. You know, it was like, oh shit, it's Prep versus Don Marino, and everybody else is a fan just wanting to see what these two guys do, as opposed to like, you know, when Torque battled John, it was kind of like the entourage just kind of going at it on stage. It was kind of pure, and it was just one of the things where nobody's cheering for nobody. They just want to see great battles. And I feel like that's the energy I got from Tampa, and I really loved it. And it was like, yo, this is dope. That these guys are actually really here for the battle, not to be in front of the camera. And that's the mentality that I loved about Born Legacy 7. Nobody showed up. Like, in terms of people I knew.
Yeah.
It was all fans. So it was a completely different energy. Nobody was jockeying for position to get next to Smack, to be in front of the camera so they could be like, hey, look, I'm somebody important. You know what I mean? It was genuine people that wanted to be a part of a great event, not just to get in front of a camera so they could do an interview with it and look important. I really appreciated that because, you know, even when you left, you were interviewing the performers. You weren't interviewing everybody that was just lingering around. That had nothing to do with the event.
Yeah.
And that's what I loved about Tampa, and that's what I loved about Born Legacy, and that's one of the reasons I don't want to bring it to New York, even though, you know, New York would be dope.
Come home, Norbes. Come home, baby.
I mean, I would, but I'm not gonna have a guest list. I don't give a shit if you battle with your Smack cousin. Like, because I'd rather the fans come. And I'm more sad about the fans from New York, not the rappers that want to get on to feel like they can come on for free. You know what I'm saying? So, to me, that's what I love about, you know, Tampa. And that's just being honest. I know people are like, yeah, no, you're kind of fucked up. No, it's just being honest, you know? And you were in the building. You know what I mean? You kind of seemed like, yo, this is kind of different.
Now, you know, yeah, like you said, there was a lot of people out there that was just really like, I spoke to a lot of people that I was like, we just so happy that Smack is out here because we ain't never thought this nigga was coming to Florida. Like, wow, like he actually came out here. And the line was crazy. The building was crazy. It was a lot of people that came out. And it was fun, you know what I mean?
And that's what I loved about Born Legacy 7, and that's what I'm looking forward to with Born Legacy 6, because it was just a really lot of genuine fans. Like, it really surprised me, and it kind of inspired me to do another one or to do more. And I was like, yo, this is super dope. Like, they actually want to be here just to be here.
Yeah.
You know, and I miss that feeling. I really honestly miss that feeling. Like, you know, I feel like in terms of doing events, it made me feel like I'm seeing the same assholes all the time. A bunch of dudes that want to just, you know, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not trying to pinpoint anybody, but you guys know who you are. It's, you know, it's the actual events, and everybody wants to stand there and be a part of the show. And I feel like with Born Legacy 6, it made you feel like it was all about the battle rappers, you know, and their performance. And that's the type of energy I'm trying to bring to all my events. So when I do Born Legacy 8, which I'm already working on now, that's what I'm expecting. That's the crowd I want. So again, it may be New York, it may be Cleveland, it may be LA, it may be Chicago. So I've been going through it, you know, trying to figure out where I'm going to bring it to again. But Born Legacy 7, July 13th, man, that crowd is going to be super dope. And it's a crazy card, and we got a lot of surprises. So that's the reason I brought it back to Tampa.
What do you mean? What do you mean by surprises?
Well, I'm having a surprise battle on Sunday, which is going to be for strictly app users. I'm not charging anybody.
Okay.
Basically, it's going to be either one or two battles.
Mm-hmm.
One really big battle that a lot of people are not going to expect. And the only way you're able to see it is if you're in the building on Saturday and you have the app.
Mm-hmm.
So you have the app. I'm going to limit it to 200 app members, and they're going to be able to go in. And when I say app members, not Smack's cousin, not Beasley's aunt, none of that. Fans that are actually supporting the URL and purchase the app and getting it.
Okay.
So that's pretty much what I'm gunning for in that aspect.
Okay.
And we're going to do it. We're going to, you know, it's Smack's birthday. We're going to cut a cake, I guess. And we're going to have food, drinks, and, you know, people are going to be able to kick it with their favorite battlers, as well as myself and Smack and Beasley. You know, I'm going to be there for a little bit. I'm trying to take my daughter to Disney. And it's my nephew and niece's birthday weekend, so
Okay.
I'm going to try to be there for a little bit, but it's definitely going to be fire. And the battle's going to be dope. I didn't want to promote the battle, you know, but
Gotcha.
it's going to be fire. But it's on Sunday, so if you guys had a chance, man, definitely be there.
Yes, sir. All right.
Norbes, we have Born Legacy 7, man. It's been, I remember from the first Born Legacy to now, it's been a long road that you guys, you know, trying to break down, you know, just the whole tier in the sense where it's like, yo, give these new guys a shot. Now we got the Avs, the Rum Nitties, the Twerks, you know what I'm saying? We could go on and on and on of guys that's really come out of the Born Legacy and really made their mark on that stage and everything like that. I guess, what is Born Legacy transforming into? Because I'm looking at this card and I'm like, damn, this is a whole new, it's like a Born Legacy Supreme infusion, but it's like, it's hungry. Like, what's going on with this one?
Basically, how I designed the card was a lot of people that are on this card have a lot at stake, a lot to gain, and a lot to lose. Like, one of the first matches I dropped was Gluezy versus JC.
Yeah.
And if you really follow the career of JC, you know, he's someone that's respected, a phenomenal pen, has been consistent. People view him as probably the best pen in battle rap. And he just continues to do good and whatever. And on the other side, you got Gluezy, who is somebody that hasn't hit that stage, that hasn't hit the height, has battled Geechee Gotti, and Geechee Gotti's went up to know him. Has battled Twerk, and Twerk has been unknown so much. Has battled Av, and Av's been on this card, and yet he's not to get his opponent his opportunity. And I feel like when I put him against JC, it was basically, listen, it's put up a shut-up time. It's time for you to say, I do belong and I should be on those cards. And the only way to prove that is to beat somebody in an event where it's going to be promoted as a big card. And there's a lot of lights and cameras. Like, you have to put people in front of those lights to see who they are, who they really are. And I believe him battling JC in a medium-sized event to where it's a lot of pressure is going to show, and it's going to give you a gauge, does he belong, can he go to the next level? Now, if he goes up there and gets washed, the questions are answered. And that's how I designed the card. Like even, I don't want to reference the Jack Boy situation too much, but, Jack Boy kind of showed that he wasn't ready. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that really hurt him. I really feel like he should have did it a different way. He should have did a Born Legacy first level. So I think Blue is doing it the right way. And again, if he performs how he's supposed to, and let's say he pulls it out and beats JC, it's only one way, and it's up from there. Jerry West is another dude. He's battling Chess, who's been controversial. People say, "Oh, he wants this. He's a choke for this," and comes off of Battle of the Year. And he has a chip on his shoulder like this, and I'm one of the best, period, to do it. I'm not just a 20-year-old kid. I'm phenomenal. I'm great. I want shine. I want my grudge back. I should be respected just like the other guys, the Bridges, the T-Tops that were in his class. And then, to me, it's almost a disrespect to not have him on Summer Impact or Summer Madness or Home. This is somebody, and this is me speaking for how I feel, that is an elite battler.
Realest shit you ever said.
No, this is facts. And people tend to overlook him. And this is my own organization that does it. And I sit there and I'm like, it seems like he's getting judged differently than others. Because you look at a Twerk, who's phenomenal, all right, but he's had some of the same problems that Chess has had, and why isn't he there? And I feel like, as opposed to just, instead of just complaining about it, Chess is like, I'm just going to prove you guys different. And that's why he's on Born Legacy 7, to show people like, yo, this is my shit. I'm a superstar. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to keep going. And the fact that you guys don't have me on these big cards is a slight at me. It's a disrespect, and I should be there. So you got somebody going into the situation feeling just like that, who's immensely talented. He's had battles with K-Rock, and if he didn't stumble, he probably won. Twerk, Gotti, this is a kid that
just had a classic.
Should have won.
He just had a classic, the last Born Legacy, man. Born Legacy 6, Chet versus Geechee. Classic battle right there, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And people don't realize that he's phenomenal. Like, he's special.
Young God.
And I feel like he walks around with the kind of side eye looking at Smack like, yo, bro, like, you disrespected me, and I'm going to prove it. Say disrespected me.
Yeah.
And you got, on the other side, he's facing somebody, and what Chess said was so brilliant. He said it on my show. He's like, I'll battle K-Shine, but I also battle someone that I respect that I'm not scared of. And he said, I feel like people are scared to battle me because they'll lose. I'm not scared to lose because, I've been through so much in my life that this is battle rap. You know what I'm saying?
Good.
If I'm going to lose, I'm going to lose because I lost, not because, I'm not good enough. You know what I'm saying? And he said, his losses have been mistakes. Just shit not being prepared or whatever. But, for him, he looks at Jerry West as a formidable opponent. A lot of guys that considered upper echelon won't do that. They say they're not going to go and battle with Jerry West. You know what I'm saying? It's too much of a risk. And Chess is stepping in the belly of the beast and battling Jerry, who's been on a crazy streak, who's been respectful, who's on the cusp of being unknown, a Summer Madness. And Chess is stepping up saying, you know what? Let's go toe to toe. So Jerry is another one who,
underrated.
Right now, he's on the brink of being on Summer Madness and all these songs.
Real talk.
And this is his test. His test is chops.
And there's also an underlying of roots from We Go Hard in New York and representing that.
This is like the Super Bowl at We Go Hard.
Facts.
Which is arguably the best league outside of URL. When I say that, in terms of developing and having great matchups and having a great crowd and having the crop of people that went through there has been phenomenal. From the Chesses, the Jerrys, the Wavies. They've produced a lot of great battles. Different Carter versus teams. These are
Facts.
This is really a big battle for We Go Hard, and it's to propel someone that came from the same system as We Go Hard. And it's on Born Like BL7 because Jerry believes he belongs. He believes, he's a guy that pulled up with a Bentley his first battle. You know what I'm saying? So he understands and wants the big lights and the cameras and everything. And, again, if he wins, he's there. And they could send shockwaves down the thing and bring chest down. You know what I mean? It's a lot to gain, there's a lot to lose in this battle, and that's what Born Like BL7 is about. We can go to the next match. Chef Trez versus Saga.
Let's go. Let's talk about it.
Yeah. Okay.
I said, let's go. Let's talk about it. Because Norbes, when I get your opinion on some of these guys, they had to go through the gauntlet, and you was the guy that was like basically the gatekeeper type. I
am the guy.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
It's never changed.
Yeah, exactly. So these guys, you got to see these guys at their most, in a sense, vulnerable state, where they're like, yo, Norbes, give me the shot. I could do this, or you know what I'm saying? Or you seeing the talent, you like, they don't even gotta tell you, give me the shot. You like, nah, you next up, come through. I see something in you.
Yeah.
So when you speak on these guys, like you talking from, like you literally put these niggas on to see if they could get it to that level. They have to come to the PGs of the URL. So
like even with the Chef Trez battle with Saga. Saga's another one who's in the same class as Chess and
Briz and Top,
T-Top and Briz, and another person that feels slighted. You're talking about the trailblazer for Christians to be accepted in battle rap, and yet Loso was getting more kudos. You know what I'm saying? So these are things that are weighing in the back of his mind, like, damn, something like, yeah, that's my man, but if it wasn't for me, and this is it's not Saga speaking because he's humble, these guys wouldn't be respected or even listened to. Before, when you would hear Christian battle rap, niggas like, I'm not listening to that.
Basically.
Saga made it okay. And, Saga hasn't been unknown. He hasn't been on Southern Madison. This is one of the more talented battle rappers. And instead of crying about it, he just sucked it up and was like, you know what? I'm just going to give you, whoever you put in front of him, I'm going to wash him. And he's going to kill his streak. Arguably not losing a battle in 2 or 3 years. Getting crazy.
Yeah.
And what does he do? He goes to faces Chef Trez, who, super dangerous, beat his teammate in Loso the first time clearly, like nobody's ever done. So it's kind of like avenging Loso, and it's also saying, listen, I belong unknown. I belong on some madness. These guys can't rap with me. And he has a lot to gain in this situation. And Chef Trez is another one. If you really think about it, he made Resolution, but it was in Atlanta.
Fact.
He hasn't made a bigger card since then. So these are two guys that, talent-wise, everybody should be on these big cards. And they see what we all see. Seeing the same fucking guys remixed and remixed and remixed. And they're sitting there like, no, I belong there.
Yeah, I do this shit.
And Born Like BL7, Chef Trez, and Saga are going to get the opportunity to really make to put a stake in their claim.
Now, Norbes, just to talk a little bit about like Chef Trez, his history, because I know it was a little time before he officially, you know what I mean? I know he had his little moments where he didn't officially get down, and I remember times it's like, yo, I heard this dude Chef Trez, but it's like it was like little things happening that really. But now that he's on, of course, you see him flourishing. But I know it was a little rocky, not a rocky start, but I know it was like a little situation before he officially became URL.
Well, he came, he did his PG. But, Chef Trez is a kid, he's young. Just like when we were coming up, it's hard for people to tell you what you expect from them or whatever, and people accept that. And I'm very blunt, and I'm not perfect when it comes to relaying or telling people what I really mean by something. And I feel like when I told him, I remember we had a conversation, he said he battles whatever, and I was like, honestly, I believe in your talent, and I don't care that you battled this individual, who paid for him to battle. And I feel like at that moment, he kind of took it the wrong way. What I really meant to say to him was that, yes, I'm not basing on who you battled, I'm basing on your ability and what I see. So to me, it doesn't matter if you battle Jesus Christ. And I feel like with that situation, I probably could have conveyed it better. And that's the reason he wasn't on the URL for a while. Like he felt like, he went for Drake Dennis, he should have went to here because he battled B Magic or whoever he battled. And I definitely I probably could have just expressed it differently to him. Maybe it would have came off better, but that was really the delay. And then we ended up speaking like men, and I told him how I felt. He told me how he felt, and we moved past it. And he's been one of the better guys in the URL, and he deserves to be on these big cards, and that's why I keep putting him on Born Legacies, because I think he's dope. And now he's set himself up to a point where it's Summer Madness or not. Like I've actually spoken to Disaster about battling him.
Wow.
I spoke to Diz recently, and I was like, listen, this is dangerous. I think he can really test you. He has a lot of the same attributes that you possess. He might be a little cleaner in the way he delivers some of the stuff, but that's a matchup that I'm interested in doing on a big card. So I believe Chef Trez is now coming into his own, and he's dangerous, man. Like, there's one thing to be talented, but there's another thing to actually realize your talents. You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't realize their talents. Like, you can be talented, but to be able to put your talents into use is two different things. And I feel like Chef Trez is starting to understand how to use his talents. It's like when Spider-Man first found out, he could shoot webs or he could climb up walls. He was awkward at first. He would fall. He didn't know how to use it. But once he was able to understand his gifts, he would put on. He was better at what he did. And I think that's kind of what Chef Trez is. He actually realized, like, I knew I always can do it, but now I know how to use his talent. And I feel like Chef Trez is becoming one of the better individuals, and it's because he understands now how to use his attributes. Somebody could jump out the gym. That doesn't necessarily make you a great rebounder or not. You have to understand how to use your talents to your best ability. And I feel like Chef Trez is becoming that right now.
The Norbes, real quick, I got a super chat from Mr. 3MZ, a $5 super chat. And he says, I'm a battler from New York, but I live in Atlanta now. He said, can we ask Norbes, who do I contact to get a PG? I'm very serious and well seasoned. So here's the floor to answer that.
What's his name?
Mr. 3MZ.
Okay. Well, if he wants, he can hit me on my Twitter, on my DM, and my Instagram. And if he's dope, I'll definitely check him out. If not, then I'm just going to tell him he's not dope. But you can hit me at Ashtree.NORBE. I live in Atlanta, actually, and I plan on coming back to the PG soon over here. And again, if you're dope, you're going to get the call. If you're not, I'm just going to tell you.
No, so what, in your opinion, though, what makes someone dope? Like, is only one battle you're going to judge that off of, or is it a body of work? Because obviously not.
It's I don't care about the body of work. I never really cared.
Okay.
A body of work to me is somebody that's established, and that's what you dictate his career at the end of his career.
Okay.
In terms of evaluating, you don't evaluate people based on it's almost like the draft this year, Kyler Murray. You can't judge him based on his body of work because he was playing in college, got crazy. You're basing it on what you project him being. So you can't base on the body of work. You have to base it on his abilities and where you see his abilities being within the next couple of years with the proper tutelage and coaching.
Okay.
So whenever you evaluate, people got to stop thinking, he's dope because he battled DNA, K-Shine. No, that has nothing to do with that. And when you scout, you have to break him down based on his abilities, not who he battled.
Okay.
What makes Ace Amin dope is he can just flat out rap. He has a lot of things to work on, but he has a lot of talent. What makes Don Marino dope? Same thing. Like he can perform. He's a good puncher. Mm-hmm. He's likable. You don't base it on his body of work. It'll never. It's a horrible way because then certain guys that pay to battle whoever, they have a better body of work.
That too.
You know what I'm saying? So you end up messing up.
All right, so here's my thing. Let's say somebody tells you about, no bars, and then the first battle you watch, I'm just completely ass. But then, you know, there's another battle I got where, you know, it's probably some of the best shit you ever heard. Like, so how do you differentiate? That's how I want to know. Like,
how do I differentiate?
Yeah, like how many
I had that before.
Okay.
Don Marino, quick story. Smack had the worst event he ever threw in his life in Tampa Bay. He hooked up with some promoter, and they had a tryout. So, of course, I'm the guy that evaluated the talent. So me and Smack ended up going to Tampa, and everybody on the card was absolutely ass cheeks. It was terrible. And this fat Spanish dude comes up to me, and his name is Don Dollars, and he's like, "Yo, what you think?" And I was like, "Yeah, you need a lot to grow, bro. Let's stay in contact, and let's see how it goes." Stood in contact with him. 2-3 years later, got his chest, got crazy, and then you have Don Marino. The evolution of Don Marino.
$10.
Wow,
And
that's crazy.
These is facts. Like, you know, when Don, I first seen Don, he was fucking terrible. You know what I mean? He got better. He started understanding it. And when he came to me, I said, "Okay, you're ready. You're going to battle Young Potter Pat in Atlanta." I took him out of his element, put him against somebody tough, and we went from there. So it doesn't matter if you have a bad performance. You know what I'm saying? It's all about if you have the skills to become good.
That's okay.
There's people that have bad performances. I've seen people before. There was a guy named LOS.
Yeah.
Out of Cleveland. The first time I seen him, he was choking all over the place. 6 months later, I see a battle. I'm like, "Oh, okay, this nigga got a lot of potential. I want to see him stand in front of me, see how he does." So it's never, you know, you can have a bad battle. It doesn't mean you're going to be a shitty battle rapper. You can have, you know, there's probably been games where Michael Jordan got schooled, come out of junior high, high school. But it's the work you put in to become who you want to be that separates people. And that's pretty much what he did. So, you know, it's never about, you know, if I see somebody get killed, I'm like, all right. But if you show me something different later, you know, it's whatever. So I've never judged people based on one battle.
Good.
If somebody gets better, show me you got better. And, you know, again, like Don Marino, that's what happened with him. He was garbage, dog. Like, fucking garbage. Shots done.
No bars asked that question because he trying to get a PG in the future, Norb. So just watch out.
He's not. I mean,
Prep and Loso.
Yeah, Prep and Loso is dope. I thought we just spoke on Prep and Loso. We didn't speak on?
No. We just spoke on Saga and Chef Trez.
You ready? Let me know when you're ready.
Yeah, we ready. We good.
Well, Prep and Loso, man, it's kind of like I said, designing this card, it was really like kind of to bridge, you know, the guy that should be going to the next level. And Prep and Loso's an individual that kind of came into the game kind of like with the airtime, man, I don't need to do this, and that. And he was like the golden boy of battle rap. Like, people really loved him. Like, yo, Loso did this, Loso did that. And like, remember at one point I was like, "Yo, is he ever gonna go PG?" Whatever. And it got to the point where I didn't even care. And for the first time, you know, he ended up getting on Gnome and finagling his way on there and doing his quote unquote PG on there, and does well, and you know, everything was smooth sailing. Everybody's like, "Oh, he didn't need to do this, he didn't need to do that," and he's whatever. He's, you know, the God. And then, for the first time when he battled Chef Trez, he faces adversity where people are saying to him, "Hey, you know what? Listen, he may have more. He may have needed a little more reps. He may have needed X, Y, and Z." You know what I'm saying? And Loso's facing that for the first time, which is, "Oh, she told me." You know what I mean? And he followed it up with battling Prep. And I'm not battling Biz Roski in his home league, and for the first time, people really felt like he got smoked clearly. And now he returns home to Tampa to a lot of fans that are really saying that they feel like it's doubt now. You know, is Loso doing the right thing? Is does he belong? Is he good enough? Is he that? And he's set to really, you know, he's set for the first time to really face somebody where he has a lot to lose. Like I said, he's being doubted now for the first time. And you know, he needs this performance. For the first time in his career, people are questioning, does he also, did Chili have done this? Does he belong? Does he do that? And, you know, it's crazy. And then you look at the other side, Prep has faced all of it. Prep has already faced, you know, being a top prospect to, you know, people saying he was over, that he's done with, and now he's on his way back, and he's kind of, in a sense, reinvented who he is with the whole Dirty Prep thing, and is he, you know, Prep is building momentum, and it's one of the matches that they both have a lot to lose and a lot to gain for the simple fact that, you know, it's in Tampa, Loso's facing adversity, Prep is trying to climb out and become a star again, and Born Legacy 7 is the stage where it's set on to where they can prove that they really do belong. You know, Loso's been through, like, you know, he came in the game and, you know, he was God. Like, people loved him. The bitches wanted to fuck him. He couldn't lose. All that. And now it's like, hey, Loso, Briz fucked you up. You know, so it's a lot of shit that's playing into that battle, and that makes it so much doper to me. And it's a dangerous battle for Loso. Like, Prep as an individual that seems to have found his groove, understands what he has to do, has reinvented himself as a battle rapper, has really changed the outlook on how people view him, and is still trying to change the outlook every day. So that's a battle that there's a lot on the table, man. It's a really super dope battle.
And I'm not gonna lie, you definitely put a good battle together with this one, because I really like how you know, Prep just had a crazy battle, and it's like, can he keep it up? Because he's been really killing. You know what I'm saying? Them smaller stages, all that. Can he really come back against a hungry Loso? Because we know Loso he's about to show y'all, like, nah, I got caught slipping a little bit. You know what I mean? Type shit. You feel me? Like, he really got to show that he really, you know what I mean, could kill. And this is going to be, and it's in Florida, so this is going to be big.
No, it's going to propel Loso. Like, it's either going to propel him, or it's going to prove a lot of the people that have doubts in Loso right now that if he belongs or not. Like, again, this is the first time he's faced adversity. This is the first time that people have doubted him. He came into this with everybody cheering him on. Like, he's this, he's that, he's the best. And now for the first time, people are doubting him. And again, like I said, Prep has faced stuff for years. Prep has been, he's seen the ugliest side of it. He's gotten bodied by Chilla Jones. You know what I mean? He's been through it. And now he's more on some retribution shit. He's cleaning up his name. So they both got a lot to lose. It's a really dope battle, bro, because it's such a storyline. They both kind of came up the same way. And one experienced a lot more heartache than the other did.
Now I'm going to talk about this one right here. It's like a mega fight right here for me. It's an Avin franchise. That one right there is like, franchise been like working. He been like, I like the trailer where he was just talking crazy. I'm next. I'm that one. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, yo, franchise.
Man, he's going to have to prove it because,
now,
you know, not Prep, Av, he was at one point looked like the Terminator, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he meets Old Red, and then people started doubting him, and he kind of took like a dip. People started doubting him, and all of a sudden now he seems to have gotten all that swagger back.
Yeah,
you know, so
for real,
he's facing a dangerous opponent, like. And that's on top of his game. His battle against Arsenal was fucking crazy, bro. Like, he was blacking on Arsenal.
Oh, yeah, that's real.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. He's finally found his groove, man, against the groove. He's back just getting loose. And franchise, you know, it's a situation where you have to take the right approach. You don't step into the ring with Mike Tyson and say, hey, yo, I'm going to go toe-to-toe with Tyson. I'm going to try out boxing. And he has to kind of figure out a way to outbox Av. And you know, you got probably opponent A1 and 1A with him and Rum Nitty as the best punchers in the world. One might be cleaner than the other, but you know, there's not so many guys that can punch with these individuals, and you have to kind of find a way in this battle And it's a tall task to ask somebody like Franchise who's never seen anything like him.
Probably the battle of
Yeah,
the
they
night.
know.
Battle
So it's crazy.
Wasn't Rum and Av on Born Legacy? If I'm not mistaken, Born Legacy.
Yeah. Yep.
2,
Absolutely.
3.
I set that up a long time ago.
Now let me ask you real quick. When you set that up, did you know it was going to be what it turned out to be? Classic.
You know what's crazy? So I'll tell you the backstory on that. So basically, what happened was, it was Born Legacy before that. It was when he battled Mike P. Right?
Okay.
I had set up him versus Mike P. As soon as Av was done, I turned around, I looked at P, and I said, "Hey man, you know what? It's time." He's like, "What you mean it's time?" I was like, "Yo, Av versus Romney is his next battle, and that's gonna be the battle of the year. It's going to be arguably one of the greatest battles of all time."
You knew it.
And he looked at me like I was crazy. And I was like, "Nah, it's going to be, that's the one." And he was like, he kind of looked at me like I had two heads. And I remember calling,
the hunger.
I called, what's his face, KG. He said, "Yeah, no, we can do it, da-da-da." And I ended up getting like a little beef with, what's his name? With Nitty, because he never agreed to it. So when I spoke to him, I thought he agreed to it. You know what I'm saying? I was under the impression that he agreed to it. Turns out he didn't feel like he was a formidable opponent. And, he hit me with the whole, I battled fucking Arsenal and B Magic and you know how I do. I don't care. That doesn't mean shit to me. Like, and I told him,
that's crazy.
Like, this is gonna be your biggest battle ever. And he kind of scoffed at me, laughed.
Wow.
Come on, nigga. Like, there's no way.
That's crazy.
And I was like, no, dog, it is. And what ended up happening was I had to end up paying him a lot more to do the battle because he really didn't believe me. And I told him after the battle, you're going to thank me.
Norbes said, "Give me some of that money back."
Yeah. I need 10%, sure. Yeah, that's crazy. That's a crazy story.
Yeah. And, to this day, that is clearly one of these greatest battles of all time. Like, it's not even play. It's one of the greatest battles to ever happen.
Ever.
I have it as my top 3 battle.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
It's phenomenal. So like, that battle is definitely, it's insane, bro.
Yeah.
Now, I was proud to even be a part of that.
Mm-hmm. Now, what you mentioned earlier about, Prep and Jerry West being on the cusp to go on to the next level, I definitely feel like Franchise, this is, and I don't feel like he has to, beat Av clearly. I just feel he has to just show up. Like you said, don't try to, punch with him, but just, show up, box, and just give a good showing. And I think, he can get that big stage next. I think he deserves it also.
It's almost like when Mike Tyson was coming up and, you didn't, people didn't know how to beat him. You had to figure out a way, a formula to actually beat Tyson. You weren't going to sit there and go toe to toe. And it took a while. It took him, imploding as a human being, but it took a while for people to actually see Tyson lose. And that's just kind of similar situation. He's got to figure out how to beat, how to nullify the way this guy punches. This guy punches like no other. Outside of Rum Nitty. So he's really, he really has to figure it out. It's a tall task, to be honest with you. A super tall task, but this is what Born Legacy is. You say you're ready, right? Show us you're ready. I don't want to hear you're ready. Show us you're ready. And this is one of them things that he's going to have to show the world that he's ready for this man. I can't do nothing for him. You can't do nothing for him. You know what I mean? It's all up to him. He has to make it to where, he has to avoid all the big shots, man. And it's Born Legacy 7, man. Either you belong or you don't. And this is a battle where it's more than just having a good battle. It's do you belong against the elite, against the world's best. And Av has proven time and time again that he is one of the best to do it, period.
Nah, that's real tough, man. A lot of these guys got tough matchups. Franchise might have the toughest match.
Yeah, most of the battlers ain't giving Franchise not a shot though. They say Ab is too dangerous right now.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, Ab is serious. Like he's been on fire. Like
Yeah, set him up, Norbes.
he's fucking shit up right now. Ab is just he's an animal right now.
You setting Franchise up, Norbes?
Nah, Franchise want this. Like,
Yeah,
hell
look,
no.
Oh man, he wanted it. Listen,
Franchise want this more than anything.
I present things to people, and it's up to them to accept it. This is who he wanted. This is the match he wanted.
Yeah.
I gave him the match.
Wow.
It's up to him. I can't do nothing. I can't protect
He
these guys.
just
I'm
battled
not gonna
Danny Myers though.
sit here and protect these guys. I'm not going to put them in an environment that's better for them. This is a challenge. You know what I'm saying? Your job is you belong. You better come beat this nigga July 13th in Tampa. You know?
What you thought about his showing against Danny Myers? Franchise.
I didn't see it. I actually watched it, but I heard he did well. But I did not see it. I'm not gonna lie to you. You know what's crazy? I don't really watch battles like that, bro. Like, I watch it when I have to watch, when I have to evaluate. And I've seen what I've seen in him, and nothing that he was gonna do in that battle versus Danny Myers was really gonna change my thought process. And I believe with Ab, this is his biggest test. You know what I'm saying? Like the stage, the crowd, the opponent, the ambiance of it, and the fact that being on Born Legacy has a lot to also do with this, more than just battling. You know, this is promoing, and a lot of these guys don't realize when you do Born Legacy, this is your first time to promote as if you're in a big event. You know what I'm saying? And I hold that extremely high to people. And when the next time I book Born Legacy 8 or whatever, I take that into account. Like, hey man, like damn, you didn't really promo that much. You didn't show me you belong. So it's more than just the bars. This is the first time you're in an event to where people want to see it. People want to be excited about it. So it's a test all around the board as to if you belong or not. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Because a lot of these niggas are boring, bro. Like, like when I see Averb in a blog, I get excited. I can't say the same for a lot of people. You know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of these guys have got to learn that yes, it matters when you're in there. But again, Born Legacy 7 is a test of all tests, because everything that you need to be a successful battle rapper, you have to do in Born Legacy.
You had, I seen the final addition to the card was Geechee and John John. What was the mindset? Because John John's fresh off, well, they're both fresh off a known. Like crazy battles. This Geechee just battled Surf.
Every
one of the
card.
craziest battles
Every
of the
card.
night. John John had one of the
Every
biggest
fucking
moments
bar.
that night. Yeah.
You know what? This is just a great battle. I mean, John John is one of the most overlooked battle rappers in the history of battle rap. He continues to add on to his legacy, add on to his greatness. And, when you put him in front of somebody that doesn't belong, he shows you he doesn't belong. John is phenomenal. And he's facing a guy that continues to get better. Every time we think this is the one, and he's not going to be that good, he's great. Every time we feel like, well, he's battling too much, you can't get enough of him. Geechee Gotti is one of those guys that's phenomenal. And in this battle, I kind of worry about John. And people are like, but you just picked him up. Yes. John is great when he has an angle on him. I don't know what angle he has with him against Gotti. So to me, this is such a dope challenge for John to beat Gotti. And in the flip side, I think Gotti has a couple of angles that nobody has touched on that Gotti of all people can bring out and make people react to these angles a lot more. And Gotti, again, he's off to the bag. He's trying to get that champion of the year too. He's probably the lead to me, and he's motivated. Gotti's motivated by being great, and a lot of people are motivated by getting attention. And Gotti's one of those dudes that does it. He really believes he's the best in the world. He really believes that and he's another guy that doesn't run. Him and Chess have a lot of similarities. And I believe that Gotti will be prepared in this battle. A lot of people, for some reason, had him losing to Surf. I thought he beat Surf. I thought it was a great battle, though. But I believe he's going to continue to keep going and going and growing. And he's, John John is in his way. And at the same time, same thing with John John. Listen, the only thing that worries me is the angles. I think John John is phenomenal in his angle. This is going to be a challenge for me, for him to find an angle that's going to help him win that battle. There's not a lot you can say to Gotti. So again, this is Born Legacy 7. It's a lot to win. There's a lot to lose. And, John John he's on a tear right now, but, he's facing somebody that's on a tear too. And there's not a lot of weaknesses in Gotti.
Yeah, and John, I know this is definitely gonna be a fight, man. So, and he's still kind of fresh. He only had 2 rounds against Jack, and it felt like a complete battle. So,
I mean, listen, that was a phenomenal performance, but this ain't Jack Boy. This is Gotti.
Nah, facts. This is a situation.
Gotti's gonna come with 3-4 rounds. He understands how to explain to a crowd pain. And turn it into a weapon. And I feel like a lot of the stuff that people did not address with John John will get addressed in this battle. And I feel like this is crazy.
Yo, man, for everybody in the live, man, make sure you get your tickets. So, Norbes, just for the people who's in the live and for those who's going to be watching this later, what's going on with this event? Is pay-per-view? What's the situation? Like, you know what I'm saying?
No pay-per-view. Only way to get your ticket is on universe.com. Go to Tampa, Florida, Born Legacy 7, or go to my Instagram, @StreetStarNORBE, or my Twitter. The links are all through there. They're in my bio. You click it, you get a ticket. If you don't get your ticket, you're going to miss it. There is no pay-per-view. If you do have the app, we will release John John versus Gotti 24 hours later, but not the rest of the cards. So for those that don't know what all app event is, that's what it means. It's going to the app. No pay-per-view, nothing else.
Now,
so the only way to see it is to do that. Yeah.
Is the rest of the card maybe during the week, like the rest of the next week, is that going to be released to the app? So we talked to Beasley.
I don't know. No, I don't think so. Okay. I'm not sure, but I don't think so.
Okay.
Beasley said within a week that's what he wanted to do.
Oh, then it probably will be. Beasley, he uploads it himself. So I don't know. That could be it, but
okay.
I know you're gonna have to wait. So if you want to wait, if you're not in Tampa, just get the app and you'll get to see it in a week.
Okay, Beasley uploads himself. Does Beasley do the editing himself too? Because I know the voice and all that. I always wanted to know that.
Nah, Beasley, he actually shaves Smack's head. That he does.
You are
that's his main job. He shaves Smack's head. And,
worked hard to deliver battle rap on the highest level with the goal of making each and every event filled with excitement. Born Legacy 7 will be no different.
Nigga, you ain't catch shit. Butterfingers, all these quote-unquote real niggas, a bunch of divas. God sent me cause the youngest needed another leader. My niggas don't run from shit, I ain't running either. And if I do, I'm coming back with a gun to leave you 6 feet under. A ditch we dug you, just fuck the pillow talker. Gotta switch these.
Finally arrived, the URL TV app. Sign up and become a member today at urltv.tv. Then download the app for iOS or Android and enjoy all of the action.
This is a gift from heaven. I'm from a city where the dope man is probably your reverend. Even in the hood, there is king and peasants. And they all strapped like the LeBron 11s. Confession, school of hard knocks, I learned every lesson. I didn't need Keen Iron Wayans just to get the message. We be stressing so much that we fuck around and miss a blessing. Survive with pure will and grace, I'm like Deborah Messer. Hey man, we all trying to ball, just a little different. I be shooting, they be shooting. I be stealing, they be stealing. We